Hello everyone, Wadozer here, and today I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Today I'm ranking my top 10 songs of 2025. But before we get started, I'd like to clarify. This list won't be ranked by popularity, it will be ranked purely on my personal enjoyment. Also, I'll only be including songs released in 2025, which unfortunately leaves out some really good candidates from late 2024, including my most listened to song of the year. Anyways, before we get into the top 10, I've got a few honorable mentions that just barely missed the list.
Baby girl, let me see you do your dance, let me see you twirl. Shake a dance in the club with your homegirls. Take a pic for the gram, show the whole world.
This was probably Drake's best song this year. It's pretty catchy and was stuck in my head more than I'd like to admit. It's nice to see him back on form after the disappointment that was The Heart Part 6.
I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment. Which
I still think is one of his worst tracks he's ever released. This was the first song I heard from Yuno, and I loved it. It's smooth and catchy, and I just generally love the mood of this song. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on whatever Yuno drops next. As I've said in some of my YouTube shorts, sometimes songs with under 100 views pop up on my YouTube homepage, but the fact that this song has less than 100 views is honestly criminal. This song is incredibly sincere and emotional, and you can tell it was made with a lot of care. Discovering this song randomly is exactly why I use YouTube to listen to music, otherwise I might miss out on hidden gems like this. I first heard this song on a TikTok ad, which is where I found multiple songs I've actually liked. This song immediately caught my attention and I had to go look it up to listen to the whole thing, and I'm glad I did. Something about the beat just really stuck with me.
No, I can't believe it. I don't wanna see it happen.
This was one of those songs that quietly became a favorite of mine throughout the year. Unfortunately, it didn't quite crack the top 10, but it was definitely in a steady rotation, being one of my most listened to songs of the year. It was painful to leave this song out of my top 10. If this list went beyond 10 entries, this would definitely be my number 11, but unfortunately it just barely didn't make the cut. Now then, with all our honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into my top 10 songs of 2025. Coming in at number 10, we have...
Oh hi, I wanna take you on a little ride. I wanna make you feel so nice, I wanna make you feel appreciated.
Kicking off this list at number 10, we have Lola Young. She was nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys, and I definitely hope she wins. This song is just so smooth and catchy, and her voice just really pulls you in. And that's why One Thing earns the number 10 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 9, we have... This song is actually a cover of a song by Nicole Atkins, and while I do enjoy the original, Victoria West completely reimagines it in her own style. The backing track is stripped down and simplified, which perfectly complements Victoria West's vocals. This cover manages to honor the original while also feeling like a completely new experience. If I discovered the song earlier in the year, I probably would have placed it higher on this list. Still, it's one of the songs that I know I'm going to keep coming back to, and that's why Maybe Tonight earns the number 9 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 8, we have... This song has easily become one of my favorite Tame Impala tracks. From the very first listen, it really stood out to me. What makes it shine for me is just how smooth and catchy the performance is. Nothing feels forced or overcomplicated, it just flows naturally from start to finish, and that's why Dracula earns the number 8 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 7, we have...
As the shadows they are forming, come and join me center stage.
While I didn't hate their previous album, Cracker Island, none of the songs on it really stood out to me. The Happy Dictator, on the other hand, feels like a reminder of why I love Gorillaz. Something about the production and delivery just clicks, and the lyrics are satirical and sharp while still being incredibly catchy, and that's why The Happy Dictator earns the number 7 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 6, we have...
Yellow diamonds, black skin, I'm taxi. You can run all you want, nigga, you can't catch me, big ho. Nigga, I'm big ho.
Don't Tap the Glass may not be my favorite Tyler album, but it was still incredibly solid, and Big Po was easily the track that stood out to me the most. The energy and overall vibe made this one stick with me more than any other track on this album. If Chromacopia hadn't come out in 2024, then something from that probably would have been in this spot, but of the songs Tyler released this year, this is definitely my favorite, and that's why Big Po earns the number 6 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 5, we have... This is another one of those songs that I discovered through TikTok. I kept seeing ads with this song, and while I didn't really like it the first time I heard it, it just really grew on me over time. There's something about its atmosphere and emotional weight that just kept me coming back, and that's why Fall earns the number 5 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 4, we have...
I don't wanna be alone, so show me how to move my feet. I'm freaking out.
I accidentally mispronounced this band's name in one of my daily song suggestion shorts, but putting that aside, I really enjoy this song. This was the first song I heard from Axe and the Hatchmen. Future Waldozer here, and I mispronounced it again. It's Axe and the Hatchetmen. I was just looking back on this while I was editing, and I'm like, how did I do it again? Anyway, yeah, Axe and the Hatchetmen. And I'm glad I stumbled across it. This song just has such a fun and unique sound. It's really become one of my go-to listens throughout the year, and that's why Blurry Light earns the number 4 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 3, we have...
Passed away. I heard that heaven's got a paint display.
I should probably acknowledge the lead singer's controversial past. I understand why that might be a deal breaker for some people, but personally I've always found it easy to separate art and artist, so it doesn't bother me that much. Anyways, that aside, Lovejoy had an incredibly strong year, which made this spot surprisingly hard to choose. I narrowed it down to this song and Common Touch, but in the end Pay and Display just barely won out. What really pushed it over the edge for me was how consistently it stayed in my rotation throughout the year. This song hits just as hard every time I come back to it, and that replay value to me is why Pay and Display earns the number 3 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 2, we have...
I am an alien, my rocket ship is human bone and skin. I'm something smaller staring out the skull with a panel of...
What's Going On was the first song I heard from Madeline May, and it instantly hooked me. And shortly after I discovered this song, she released her full album, 1,000 Songs About It All, Act 1, and that quickly became my favorite album of the year. Picking a single favorite track from this album was incredibly difficult. I was considering 2 other songs from the album for this spot, but What's Going On ultimately won out. This song never got old for me, and became one of the songs that I could just put on no matter what mood I was in, and that's why What's Going On earns the number 2 spot on my list. Now, coming in at number 1, we have...
Likely to find a piano in the sky. So many fishes in the sea, so I can't wanna find me mine.
This song was, without a question, my favorite release of the year. I was enamored by this song from the very first listen. From the incredible vocal performance to the simplicity of the instrumentation, everything about it just works. It kept me coming back throughout the whole year and never lost its impact. This song knows exactly what it wants to be, and it executes that vision perfectly. Because of that, it became the song I connected with the most this year. And that's why Piano in the Sky earns the number 1 spot on my list. And that was my top 10 songs of 2025. Putting this list together was much harder than I expected. There were so many great songs that almost made the cut, and finding the right words to describe my enjoyment for these songs was equally as difficult. Anyways, I'd love to hear what your favorite songs of the year were, so definitely let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking for new music. Now, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!